All right, here's the
Say damn and hell.
list of
These are the people that are,
have
yes,
responded.
definitely.
Yeah, as far as wanting to
Yeah.
rejoin.
How many do you have?
I think there's 13 who have said yes,
So definitely yes.
and one,
No,
two,
well,
three,
Lisa's
four, five,
moving.
six
Yvonne, no.
maybes.
Okay, Renee Bosch, maybe. Ruth Thomas. They want to split a share. I know they, but they're pretty good. You know, I like them
Yeah,
too.
he's the one who did the mineral oil, but because I told him to. But yep.
Hmm.
And some of these people
Why
actually.
Sherry Taylor said probably.
Well, she said, I was rereading that email she sent, and she said, probably, I noticed the word probably, so I was like, oh, okay, this isn't a definite then, you know.
Okay.
And some of those people, like she's a homeschooler, so I don't know if the kid thing, you know, would need to be told to them first.
It's an issue. Brian has a real issue as far as you know, some of the children. I mean,
Yeah, so I would
I
say,
think it's a great experience for them, but at the same time, as long as they're really, really supervised, but to come out here and work and just let your kids have at it, it's a problem.
I
And
kinda
most times
see-
Sherry
yeah.
does work with her kids, but
Yeah.
once in a while, you know,
I kind of side with Brian on that. It's a good learning experience, and it's the way kids ought to learn. The problem is they've either got to be supervised or they run rampant, and if
Yeah.
they're being supervised, nobody's doing any work.
no, that's right.
That's the problem.
Yeah, that's right. You know, you're watching your kids and,
Mm-hmm.
so that's what I'm saying, like some of those people, I would say that first, you know, lay down what the
you
differences
need
are going
to
to
work
be.
without your kids, and then you can bring your kids supervised, but
At
you
first.
really got to supervise them,
Right.
and probably make a kid work session an hour. You know, they don't have the attention span to stay for 2 to 3
Right,
hours.
they don't.
And make it a kid work session as
Yeah.
opposed to a work session.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
And
right.
that's enough. You know, you can teach your kids a lot of stuff in
Mhm.
that period of time.
It'd be
and-
more like the backyard garden.
Yeah, right,
You know, it's
exactly.
kids, which we tried
I
to
know.
do that, but it kind of failed
Yeah,
miserably.
they
you know,
never end
so,
up working it,
It-
unless,
Right.
yeah.
You know, it just didn't work real
I
well.
think kids, at least that's been my experience anyway, with kids and grandkids and everything. Kids need something to call their own
Mhm.
when they're doing that. And rather than just having a community
Yeah.
deal, they need, maybe it's a specific variety of plant, or maybe it's a little patch.
And they do different things.
But I think they need something that they can call their own
Mhm.
and take ownership. Otherwise, I didn't like the way you did that, and
Yeah.
oh, and you need to do this, and
You mean
You
from
know.
the parents?
no,
Oh.
from each other,
Oh.
from each other.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I noticed, like, I just read that lasagna garden book yesterday because I was on hold for 3 hours for something. And on the back cover, she says, and she wrote a phenomenal book, but she said it was because of working side by side with her grandmother as a
Uh-huh.
child. I mean, so there has to be, that's the next generation. So somehow, and getting it into them young, but that's different than the CSA. But that's, you know, it's important to get the future farmers, but that's different
Thank you.
than this. But somehow,
Well,
somewhere.
Yes and no. I think yes, because that's the way kids are taught. But when you've got a parent that doesn't know what they're doing,
Mhm. That's the problem.
Right, there you go. Because her grandmother even did all the herbs. She said that she'd go out and get stuff from the woods and
Yeah,
treat everything she had with that. And
Life was
That's
very,
true.
very different then, you know,
Right.
and kids were expected to work back in
Exactly,
those days.
right.
Now you
Right.
try to get a kid to do call children's services on you. I mean,
Well, Sammy's definitely learning a lot, even with his little time here. But he's writing these reports, and which you'll
Yeah.
see. And I'm
Yeah.
glad, you know, that at
well,
least.
so Sammy picks up things a little. He's a little more aware than your average kid. Well, he's smarter than your average kid. I mean, he really is. I mean, the
Yeah,
kid,
right.
he's an intelligent kid. I mean, you could see that when you know, questions and answers. I mean, what he picks up is,
Right.
is tremendous. I mean, it's.
well,
But I don't think most of them get as much out of it.
and again, it's a matter of if they either have an interest or sometimes it's hard to teach. They've got to be the one who wants to do
Wants
it.
to, exactly.
A good example are my own two kids. I've always gardened all my life and loved it. We've got two kids who could care less. Now, my son just turned 42, and he has all of a sudden developed an interest in gardening.
Yeah, sometimes it's maturity.
Yeah.
I didn't have an interest either.
He
when I was a
had
Okay.
no
child.
interest in it whatsoever. Neither one of them, my daughter either, and she still didn't.
Heck, when, Brian married me, I was a condo girl. We moved into the house
Oh,
and
you'd
it was
never
like
know.
yard work and I went, yuck.
You'd never
You
know.
know, I did.
Wow.
And,
It's hard to
then,
believe now.
started
Yeah, it
with just
is.
mowing the grass and,
That
and
is
after
hard
a
to
while it kind of, it's one of those, it's a developed love. I mean, and either you have it or you
Exactly.
don't. I didn't grow up around it 'cause my mom absolutely hated yard work. My dad always did the yard work, and they never expected us kids to do anything. So I was a sports jock, and
Yeah.
sports jocks aren't known for working real hard
No.
in housework
No.
and yard work and that type of stuff. We devote all our energy to that,
Uh-huh.
and I did for a lot of years. And I think that was part of the problem is I would rather go out and do a triathlon. I kill myself doing that, but go out there and hoe wheat? Are you kidding? And look at me now.
I
People
would
do
have-
change.
Unless you told me that, I would have never believed it if somebody told me.
Yeah, Brian used to say he had a hard time getting her to get on the tractor.
Oh, I know. I was very, very. I grew up in the city, suburbs. I mean, I was. It just doing it more and it developed a love for it, and really seeing, I don't know, it's just the eating the food, how much better I felt. I mean, I'm really basically healthier than I was. I probably is not as aerobically fit, but I'm definitely, my muscle and everything is much healthier than they were when I was doing that, because I was killing myself. I
Yeah.
literally was. I was
Yeah.
like an 80-year-old person getting up out of the chair. I was so, like I'd get up and I'd be like, oh man, every muscle in my body, because I was very competitive, I just didn't race. I was always on the verge of pulling something. And I can look back on that. I was obsessed with it. It's a one-dimensional, and this broadened my thing.
Not in balance.
I was not balanced at all. That's a good word, But
All right, so figure, we counted 13 and then how many maybes? Or how many, look at those maybes and figure how many you
1, 2,
think.
3, 4, 5, 6. Well, Debbie Vondren, it's an issue of she's just very far away.
And I doubt she would come if she couldn't
Renee
bring her
would
kid or
bring-
dog.
She wasn't too bad of a worker. Thomas is, they just basically, they're looking at more of the expense,
2 miles away.
Hello?
That begins to be
Hey.
a problem of frequency, because you need to be
I'm
out here
doing
more
good.
than
Yeah.
once a week.
You-
And that's an issue that I think has to be addressed too.
Yeah, because that's
Okay.
defeating a little of the purpose, which was to have access to it. And if for some reason you couldn't get here, you
Okay.
can't work or eat it.
Right.
So count up, I was saying, how many of those maybes
Okay,
look
we got
like possible
1,
yeses.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Like I said, Sherry, I don't know if the kid issue is gonna,
Yeah,
and
I'd say it will.
and Debbie too.
yeah,
She likes coming with her son.
right.
And who else is on there?
He's not too bad though. Debbie's son is
Yeah,
he
he's pretty
doesn't-
smart, really.
He
Him
doesn't
and
really
Sammy.
get into the trouble.
Well, how are you going to do
The
that?
one
though?
that gets in trouble, Sophie and Jonas are okay. It's
Harry.
Harry.
You know what? Then maybe it'll be the same thing with the kids, where you'll say, one-on-one, these kids are okay and these kids are not.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, Sherry's going to be a problem because she ain't going to have any. She's not going to come without her kids. I can see that right off the bat. I mean, it's going to be a real issue there.
Yeah, unless maybe I don't know.
But of all
I really
these
like her
on
kids.
the no list, that's they need to be on a no list anyway.
I don't see
Yeah.
any of these, how many of these I know. Lisa,
Yeah.
Terry.
I mean,
None
the
of
only
them
thing
work.
I was gonna say is, with Sherry's kids, I don't know. I don't want to commit to anything, but I do really like them, and
Oh, I like
if
my
maybe
kids.
I was like, if we did have a separate section that I had to, if I wasn't doing all my running around and I could just work with them, to,
Do
like a
children's
babysitter.
session.
Yeah, like I'd be the babysitter, but do it, where, like if I'm not running around and I could
Yeah,
just,
make just a
d-
1 day a week.
Yeah, or they're-
well, it have to be once a week anyway.
yeah.
You know, just a 1 day a week. 'Cause it can't, otherwise too much happens.
Yeah,
in
because
2-week
I did
periods,
really,
it gets
I like them.
unattended.
They're, Jonas and Sophie are very smart, and Harry was coming along, but.
Not a bad, but you gotta keep them occupied.
Right,
'Cause
yeah.
what happens, it's
And-
like the
and-
other day, that, you're doing it with, what, one Sherry comes with,
Paula,
Paula,
she's
Paula.
not on there, she didn't respond.
she didn't respond. And
And
it's her kids.
Bill didn't respond either, Chris and Bill yet.
Chris and Bill, they'll rejoin. Chris and Bill, yeah. I think that can.
But maybe we could do something like that, because I feel strongly about working with the kids, if, not here somewhere else. So maybe somehow, maybe there could be a section, and that would be the way it was. I'd have to, but it'd have to, anyway, let's not talk about that part. All right, so how many yeses then, including the possible maybes that are, and that's the other thing, you're gonna have split shares again, or no?
Not gonna do quarter shares.
Definitely
That's
not, yeah.
ridiculous. I mean, quarter shares ridiculous.
I
It's
agree.
just, at best, it would be a split share. Let's see, we have Elena, she's the one from the massage place, right?
Yeah, she said
What's her-
Sundays she can come, as long as that,
Yeah,
like,
that's fine.
before 10 a.m. or something.
Lolly and Bruce, of course. Just looking at this list here, of who would actually be Jim Broderick.
I don't know, they were very enthusiastic about rejoining though. They said, we'll be looking forward to it, and yeah, I don't know who they are either.
Can't think of who.
That's the one who Taylor's taking over though, so I think they're friends with their
Oh,
family
you're taking over their share?
for the rest of this year, which isn't much left.
I
2 weeks.
I don't know them.
Judy Briggs.
I don't know them either.
Judy Briggs.
She was-
Judy, yeah, she's the one.
She's
leading
gone
the
for
beach
the
there,
season. She left in April, I think.
Yeah. And Irene's been out here. She's actually
And- yeah.
pretty good.
She had grandchildren too, but
Yeah.
Did Terry,
Lamar.
the school teacher?
she's not rejoining. Terry Lindley.
Yeah, I didn't think she would, first of all.
And have you heard anything from my favorite, Harriet Freeman?
No.
I have a feeling she won't rejoin. She just.
I don't think
she
so
just
either.
doesn't seem like she's enjoying
No.
herself at all.
Right.
She's
I'm surprised people didn't just write me back and say, no, I'm not.
people might be embarrassed by it a little bit.
Or they might be waiting to see what the details are going to be.
True, For you, a lot of money. Okay. Well, anyway, this is not really what our meeting's about. I think we want to know more about garden planting, I think, don't we?
Well, depending on, I was going to say a good thing maybe would be to, if you counted up those people and then figured on, what is that, 20 people with the maybes? But the maybes are maybe splitting some of them.
Yeah, 20 with the maybe, so,
So we could do a scenario with 20
20
and with
and then-
30 and with,
Yeah.
Well,
I don't-
there were a lot of new people, I know I got some emails that I haven't responded to, I'm getting to local harvest too, that,
oh
just
yeah.
say if we had a 50-member CSA,
I don't think it needs to be any bigger than that.
yeah.
Yeah, I would
That's
say
just
let's
not-
work
yeah.
on 2 or 3 scenarios, like with the 20, what that would look like, and then up to the 50, and then if you want to do one in between, and
Yeah,
be
maybe a
prepared
20, a
for,
30, and a 50. 30 is probably the ideal size. to me.
Yeah. And really
If
get,
you get,
oh, there you are.
There, hello.
Come on in, have a have some iced tea here.
Oh, I'd love it. Am I intruding on something though? I don't
No,
know.
it's up to Valerie. I don't
We
care.
could get your input too.
Here, I'll take a
No, I'm
refill.
fine, thank you. I'm float out of here.
Yeah, we could get your input. Remember I told you you'd be good for the input,
Yeah.
and then it worked out that you're here. So,
Oh, this is the meeting you're talking
well, no, that wasn't.
Oh.
But we're having one now anyway, though. So what were you working on out there?
I was just working at the store.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
so you're coming out like every other day now?
Yeah, I think just about. Yeah. I'm loving being out here. Oh.
But anyway,
Okay, so start with what's your ideal?
Well, I think, as I said, you definitely should not have more than 50. And that's just an honest opinion, because when you do, you start losing a degree of control, and I think we did some of that.
Yeah, we had about say 65.
Right.
yeah.
So
You do-
50 's
you-
getting
you
close.
do, you do. Let me just throw this, what we were talking about, what we feel, if you did do a larger type CSA, I think what you do is you have your core workers. And, you know, it's gonna kind of be a sliding scale on, you know, what one is willing to commit to, you know, whether they're complimentary membership or whether, you know, or the same as it is this year. Maybe because some people are pretty good, but, you know, they can only commit themselves every other week. We're gonna consider those kind of I guess you would call a semi-working member. They're not truly a working member. And then you have your new members. They're going to all new members are going to be considered non-working, but they still have to put in their volunteer time. And I think, say if I had between 50 and 70, what I think I would probably do is I'm going to hire somebody, you know, with the extra budget. To make up, that way the work actually gets done. Because you get one individual, they're out here, they know what's going on with the garden. Maybe they work every work shift. You know, they come out, and when those people come out to volunteer, there's somebody that's right there to help instruct or whatever. But they're going to be working the whole time and actually getting the work done. The problem is you could have, I made the scenario before, say if you had 40 working hours out of the CSA members that don't know what they're doing. They come out, they wander around the first 15 minutes, and when it's time to go, they're heading out the door the last 15 minutes. So they're really only working maybe an hour and a half, not particularly efficiently well.
Right.
But if you got somebody that knows what they're doing, they're going to be efficient, they know what needs to be done, their 2 hours is going to be more like, you know,
Actually,
5 hours of
I would say, like with your team this year, did you use your team much?
Yeah, there were some who were, every time I needed somebody, they were there. Others who.
Like who? Who were the
well,
good
Dennis,
ones?
for example.
Okay.
Yeah, Dennis is good. He's not on the list here.
Yes,
either.
he
Yeah,
is. He's a
is,
yes.
yeah. And I'm
Oh.
terrible with names, but the lady that
Irene?
rides the motorcycle, motorbike.
Debbie.
Debbie.
Debbie, she's good.
Oh, Debbie
Yeah,
Johnson.
yeah.
Yeah,
She didn't respond yet.
but I would
I
bet she
think
would rejoin.
I
Yeah.
think so. Yeah, I'd be very surprised
Okay.
if she doesn't. Lisa Melton.
She's moving. She was on your
But
team?
she's moving.
Yeah, and but anyway, the majority of them, yeah, they responded.
So in
well.
other words, though, like you're someone who knows what you're doing, and a lot of some of these people didn't. So did that work with you telling
Yes.
them?
Right.
So you.
It did. I think by the time we finished, those who regularly attended could go out there and take care of a patch of corn, you know, from planting to harvesting.
Right.
And,
How come you're always the only one out now, though? Did they stop coming?
I think Dennis he's been having problems with the Chinese drywall.
Oh.
You remember?
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
And he's been tied up some. He been out here the last couple
yeah.
of
I
times.
saw him.
I think his kind of interest has kind of dwindled away.
I just haven't
I've
seen you
noticed
with
the
a group.
interest had dwindled away with the weather.
Yeah, exactly.
And the
What is-
weeds.
How do you pronounce her name?
Lamar.
Lamar, yeah. She brings a little a boy with her too.
Yeah, she's a homeschool mom.
And I get a kick out of him. He is so much fun.
And how old is he?
He's I'd say maybe a year younger, a year or two younger than Sammy.
Oh, so he's a young kid
Uh-huh.
that you like having out there.
And he is, I mean, you tell him what to do and he does it well.
Okay.
I think
Well,
he's
you
the
know,
one
maybe
who.
we shouldn't eliminate all kids.
Uh-huh.
I mean, there's some kids, you know.
I don't know, but
Yeah.
we've got to get a better handle on it, is what I'm saying.
Maybe,
If we-
yeah, you could
know.
case by case say,
Mhm.
this isn't working with your child.
That's what Brian said. If this is a dictatorship, I'm the dictator, I can decide.
But we've got to get better control of equity.
Yeah.
You know, some people did very little, but they were the first ones to line up for the produce. You know, that's
Yeah.
always the case, and it's going to always be the case to some degree.
We know the
Yeah.
star of that
And
one.
it'll be the first one to complain the most. The
Exactly,
cooler's empty.
right, that's usually the first complaints you get, right?
Yeah, the cooler's empty. Well, you know,
Uh,
Brian
then
just looked
get
at
your-
it. So how
pardon
you
me,
doing?
but
You know, and
Pardon me, but get your ass out there and do some picking then,
Mhm.
harvesting.
see, Brian had no hesitation. He told that to a few people. That, you know,
Yeah.
said, "Well, the cooler's awful empty." He said, "Well, then I guess you got to get out there and harvest
Yeah.
it, don't you?"
Right, but that's one of the things that
What are you complaining to me for?
Yeah.
Well, that's what we're saying. I guess now that you know who's a worker, who's not, she's not going to offer it to everybody.
Yeah. And I think that's the way it ought to be. But one
Yeah.
of the things that I think you've got to keep control of, one of the issues with a lot of members was, I can't make it on the day that I signed up to make it, which was Tuesday morning, for example. And then if I can't make it on Tuesday morning, well, it's easy to let the rest of the week slide, and and then
They never made
they
it.
never make it, or they're maybe once every month, or whatever the case might be. And if we have a core membership, like most of these 20 members that have signed up or signed up again, that can kind of pretty much work on their own, with occasional instruction in a particular area, let them do that. But
Without a
allow-
regular shift, you mean?
without a regular shift. But those inexperienced people should never be out here
By themselves.
without by
That's
themselves.
what Brian was saying.
Right.
Let's make Sunday afternoon
Uh-huh.
the day that the
Right.
inexperienced people come,
Mhm.
and then we work with
And
them directly.
those inexperienced people, if they join, must agree that we give them two choices. You know, a weekday afternoon or a weekday morning and a weekend.
Yeah,
And they've got to be here at that time, or
One or
they
the
are
other.
not members.
yeah.
Or they're not, they have to be a non-working member.
Well, yeah, right.
Um,
Yeah.
But what
that's
about,
how you become a working member if you
Uh-huh.
rejoin the next year. And you know, I suppose halfway through the year you can kind of say if you know they can gain enough experience,
Mhm.
depending
Yeah.
on the individual or
Yeah.
whatever. But unless somebody comes out ahead of time, like Cynthia's coming out ahead of
Uh-huh.
time, she's volunteering,
Uh-huh.
proving herself, and she's working a lot directly with me. You know, so that makes a big difference.
Right.
With somebody that, you know, they choose not to do that. Well, you know, I don't know who you are or whatever.
Right.
I mean, you know, we just from a first year experience, you know, a lot of people, they say they want to be the working member, you know, so they get the discount, so to speak.
Mhm.
And I think another thing too, next year, what I want to do with the bunny buck system, you know, how I did the $15 a week. I'm going to increase that to 25, but it's going to be 25 retail, and the price is going to be reflect across what I charge in the store. And that
Yes.
way,
That's fair enough.
you know, I'm just going to increase the amount, but it's not going to be wholesale anymore. And that way,
Yeah.
there is no discretion on what's
Mhm.
in the store and what's
Right.
and it's just 25 just from a psychological aspect.
Okay.
You ask somebody, you sign up for a 30-week season at $15 a week. but
Right.
You're really only
Yeah,
getting
it was supposed
you're
to
getting
be-
$25 worth of produce. When you still say it wholesale, they'll still think
yeah, it was
it's
still,
15 in their
the
mind.
15 was supposed to be a retail figure, but the bunny bucks was supposed to be really units, not, but that was hard to ever
But I
separate.
think that's the way I want to
Yeah,
change
25.
that. 25, and then
Retail.
it sounds like, well, but I gotta put in so many hours a week, and and I'm paying the amount of what the produce is worth, but what you're doing is you tell them, okay, now you're getting 25, and then you're working, you know.
No, I think that's
I think that's just more of a psychological.
just some fine tuning to that system.
Yeah.
I think the system works, you know.
Yeah, we
from
don't
what I've
hear
seen,
anything
works pretty well.
other
Yeah.
than someone having an accounting, but nobody said anything anymore. So what's your ideal for, like, is there a way to say then how many hours is required at those different levels, or there's no, you know?
I think working members, I think we need to, it's got to be a week, true working members, they have to come at least once a week, minimum 3, probably maybe 4 hours
Watch it there.
A week,
a week.
3 or 4 hours a week.
Yeah, it's got to be 3 at least, because 2
right.
2 working,
Yeah,
1 harvesting.
3
I think
hours.
that's,
that'll,
That
and
will-
that can vary a little bit according.
How much do you work
early
at
on,
it-
it's not going to be as much.
at a time when you come out.
I never work, as a general rule, never work. I'll come out sometimes just to check on things. But if I'm out here to work, it's a minimum of 2 hours.
Yeah.
And how often
Usually.
have you been coming out?
I don't know.
A couple times a week, 2 or 3 times a week?
Generally 2 or 3 times a week, yeah.
But for somebody like yourself, you don't really need to do 3 because you're out here more.
Right.
You're
right.
willing to do, say,
Yeah.
I'm going to do
I was
2
just
today,
wondering,
2
yeah, what a
next
shift
day,
leader, you know, who knows what they're doing, how much
Yeah.
time is required to keep the crop?
You know, I think the different stages, the different levels of membership that you're talking about, I think you need to sit down and kind of define each of those levels.
I think there's
And-
3 different levels, the
Yeah.
new unexperienced,
Uh-huh.
the people, the returning members, but they just don't have the time to devote,
Mm-hmm.
and then,
So what are
know,
you calling
Lolly,
them?
Bruce, yourself.
What do you
Paul,
call in
I
the
mean,
returning ones who don't have the time to devote?
they just don't have the.
What are they though? Are they working or non-working?
Well, they would be
Or the,
a renewal.
a renewal non-working?
No, there would be a renewal. What
Is that my tea that you poured?
I wouldn't know.
The tea?
Oh, she was
the
waiting
tea?
for the,
Oh.
we offered her tea and then didn't give her any.
No, then I'm thinking,
I'm sorry. You just get a glass, Jerry. Serve yourself. I'm sorry.
Okay, so the renewal, but they're not that great of a worker. What are they? Some of them will be definitely,
Yeah,
like Jennifer, Mina.
Mina and the. boy-
They're non-working, I would say. I don't know what you want to do.
Yeah, they're but you know, it's a touchy situation, because they think they're working.
That's
Well,
it.
actually, though, if you up the hours for a working share and you said you weren't going to do like a husband and wife splitting the 2 hours, like now what is it going to be for a couple? Do they get to split their hours and count them as a double?
Mm.
Like them?
Yeah, I see what you're saying, yeah.
Like Bruce and
Well,
Lolly,
these
for
two,
example,
you know,
I'm not-
they
I'm
like
not
to
a
just
big
come
fan.
out and just harvest their own product. They're not getting it, you know, there was a couple times they kind of hoed around like early on, but they haven't really done anything. What does their hours look like in the book?
I think they're making their minimum requirement, which means 2 hours a month, because they're coming out as a couple, so 2 times 2 is their
Well, you,
4.
That's not
you know what they're
And
doing?
they're just harvesting during that
They're
time.
and that's easy to do. You come out, they come out, and they probably spend an hour, but they're because they're counting each other. You know, that's 2 hours. But they
Times
come out
2.
at least once a week. But you know, they go out and cut a little bit of arugula, but they don't do anything extra to put in the cooler. Now,
Right,
if they
they
went
don't-
out and they harvested 10 bunches of this and 10 bunches of that, you know, extra, and stuck
Right.
that in the cooler and harvested their own, that would be fine. But that's not what they're doing, from what I've seen anyway.
Yeah, so maybe if you up the requirement for working to, like you're saying, 3 hours a week minimum, 3 or 4 hours, you know, they're gonna get knocked out just from that alone.
Right.
I don't know. Or are you gonna say, what will you say about them? They're a good example. Will you say, we've seen how you work and you're not really doing it, so you can't be
Yeah.
working? I don't know.
Well, I think they might be partial, they maybe fall into the partial working or non-working, maybe and then they can come out and pick their own product because they like the fresh product, which I really don't have a problem with that. And they know what they're doing when it comes to cutting and all that kind of stuff. They'd rather have it be fresh green from the garden. That's cool, you know. But that doesn't count for you. Maybe that's what we need to do. It's just establish the fact that when you harvest your own product, it doesn't include your working hours.
Yeah.
You know?
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that, yeah.
Yeah. If you want to come out and help harvest to restock in the cooler, that can be part of your working. But just to go pick your own produce, I'm
Yeah,
sorry, but that's
right.
not part of it.
No,
Part of the
I
deal.
like that, yeah.
Mhm.
so-
Yeah, I think that probably happened with a few people.
Mhm.
So how about let's go to the 20 people scenario, and then we'll go to the 50 and then one in between. How much land do you think that would need for 20?
20 people, one bed. Would be great.
Yeah, I'm of the opinion we need to use less land
Right.
next year.
I think
regardless of
everybody
whatever
feels that
we
way,
got.
yeah.
And I think if it's planned out right, you can double crop and do a lot of things differently that helps keep down weeds. I think we need to utilize plastic more.
Yeah, I think so too.
Use plastic more.
Utilize the plastic more. A good
Particularly
example
for
is
your long-term,
right, your pepper and eggplant there.
yeah, you can
That
see
you
how
haven't had a
weed-free
weeding,
that.
exactly, right, haven't
Yeah.
had a weeding.
But how
problem
does
there at all.
Lolly's side look? Does that look all weedy? I didn't really know.
They've had to work at it,
Oh.
and it's got a fair amount in it, yeah.
Yeah, it's so this time of the
Yeah.
year,
Yeah,
it's so
this
difficult.
time,
Yeah.
right.
And you see how everything's growing out there, so it's amazing the plastic is working pretty
Right,
well.
right. But, I think you can lay out, in group, according to maturity and according to type. And
So you think 20 people is one, what do you call those things, beds? 3 feet across? I mean, 3 rows across? Is that a bed? Or is
Yeah,
it,
well, if we go with the raised beds, you could get 3, sometimes you can squeeze 4 raised beds.
but that's 20 people at 600 feet, one, what do you call that? One,
One strip, you mean?
Yeah.
Just one strip in
Well,
a bed, you mean?
no. So the whole thing is a
Let's do
bed?
the whole thing, yeah.
Okay, so 20 people is one bed?
Well, it depends, I'd have to sit down and do some figuring on, but that brings up another point. I think we've tried to grow too many crops.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Let's discuss what we really want next year.
Mm-hmm.
Here I've kind of made a list here. The popular, of course, the lettuce mix, head lettuce.
This is where you were saying,
Yeah, but maybe even on the lettuce mix, get 5 or 6 of the more popular ones and some of the not so popular. And you have a feel for that, I don't,
Yeah,
for what people really like. But cut down on the number of varieties
yeah,
of lettuce. But lettuce has been a popular one, broccoli, cabbage,
different variety though.
yeah, different variety.
What's going in here? Him I gotta take. Hello. They're all chuckling. They know.
yeah, tell them we'll have another meeting for sure.
And Robert is on the same page with you. He has already said so.
We'll have another meeting.
We have a voice of reason here. And
Brad
2
is-
wacky females.
Brian is like me, he is so patient.
So he wants to be in on this meeting.
All right.
We could put him on
that's the end.
speakerphone.
Bye-bye.
No.
Brian is like me.
Oh, he doesn't like us having a
patience.
meeting.
Oh, I know.
You're kidding.
He's like,
I was
get nervous.
I was gonna say, he hates missing this meeting.
No,
He's just like, oh, meeting, oh my God.
Yeah, meeting.
Brian.
Well, we'll have another one.
He's like, as I said, I'm not very patient, and Brian isn't either from what I've seen.
Yeah.
Actually, I think we'll get a lot said that we might not have had time to say with a
Okay,
fourth.
I'm gonna put less varieties here.
But pick out-
broccoli. We need a new variety.
Right.
Yeah, which you don't know yet.
Exactly, and
Okay.
I've been trying to find, it's called emerald something or other, and I cannot find it.
Emerald
So-
something.
But
Emerald
you-
something. Okay,
yeah.
I'll put emerald on
But it has a, good size first head,
here. Okay.
and then the side shoots are smaller,
Okay.
but they do have any
I was
broccoli.
just
has some
reading
side shoots.
something that said if you cut the main head when it's smaller, it'll make bigger florets. Have you ever heard that?
That makes sense. Yeah,
Um,
that makes sense.
but what are the kinds of varieties in the lettuce mix that you right off the bat know for sure? Like, what are the top?
Well, we got Galactic, you know, which is that deep red. We're
That's-
pretty
that's
Yeah.
very
deep
popular.
red. Probably a Butter Crunch is
Mhm.
excellent.
The
you know,
romaine.
Romaine, definitely. There's different varieties of romaine.
How about, was there endive in there? Or?
Well, the endive with the chicory, which we and that we don't have to plant very much of.
Yeah.
And we did pretty well as far as how much we planted of that, and it didn't take up that much space. Dandelion.
A little chicory, a little dandelion,
Yeah,
maybe, but not.
but you know, it's a
Yeah.
recutting item,
Yeah.
so, and a little
Right.
bit of arugula. We did plant too much arugula,
Right.
so.
Yeah,
Right.
And
Definitely.
do more plantings of it, but,
yeah, there's
less-
definitely too much, yeah.
Yeah.
And too
Yeah.
much dandelion is
And
planted.
that's it.
And
Plant
too much-
smaller amounts.
Too much
or
nasturtium.
everybody, stage it
Frequently,
out
yeah.
every 2 weeks or, that type of thing.
But I
And
liked
that
a
takes
little
some
bit
planting.
of fennel in there, a little bit of kale in there, right?
Well, kale is, something that we probably didn't have, that's in a plant by itself. But we didn't have quite enough of. And beets, we really, need to get more beets early on, so,
Mhm.
you know, they have time to
Mhm.
mature, I think, a little bit.
Yeah, beets and carrots are very popular.
Carrots,
So the red and green cabbage.
I
Green
think-
more so than red.
What was that
yeah,
curly
less
lettuce?
red,
Less red and more green, huh?
more green, yeah.
What was that curly lettuce? The little curly
Tango, that's definitely nice in the mix too.
tango?
But as far as head lettuce, we need a romaine. With the green leaf, would you say popular for the head lettuce?
Yeah, I think
Yeah, green leaf, you know, that did well, you know.
Uh-huh. But,
How about yellow squash, zucchini?
yellow squash, zucchini, I'm not sure about the patty pan.
Yeah,
Ow, 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 ow.
Hey, you!
Hey,
You cut that out.
She did that over
All
here
you
to
people.
Cynthia too.
hey,
He's
Where'd
like
you do
loving
that?
on Elsie Dash.
Did he get you?
not much.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
patty pan,
Everybody.
I think it was very interesting looking, but I don't think, it was more of a
People didn't know-
novelty maybe.
People didn't know what to do with it,
Yeah.
I think, and I tell them, use it like you would yellow
Yeah,
squash.
yep.
But, cucumber, probably need to plant more
Yeah,
cucumber.
Cucumber.
Didn't quite have enough of that.
Even though
Egg-
now we're getting a lot.
Eggplant.
Well, that I think we want to just really plan the eggplant, peppers, and I have that plastic for for strawberry,
Right.
tomatoes, peppers, and eggplant.
So are you
Um,
impressed with the peppers coming up? Did you look at, you've seen them, right? Because how you were saying you always had trouble growing those.
Yeah.
So,
I started those from seed, and it shows the big difference. And then when you start them from seed and put them on plastic, and that's probably the best looking peppers I've ever.
the ones on
That are
both
out.
sides, right? Yours and Lolly's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But which
those-
didn't
those
take
are-
off until it started raining though. So
No, it didn't. No,
they were struggling until the rain came.
Um,
So that was the other thing we'll get to, I guess, after the vegetables is the drip tape.
And potatoes.
Yeah, potatoes were
Were
awesome.
very popular.
They were great.
Both
But I think
kinds.
what I want to do with the potatoes, and give you a thought on this, maybe what we should do is just don't even put potatoes in with this group here. We'll just take one bed in the back, like where the chickens are now.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just disc up a whole bed, and we'll just plant potatoes. And maybe do something with a gravely where we can just harvest them and flip them out, and we'll maybe do one big planting, and then put them in like the citrus mesh bag, put them in the cooler, and then we have potatoes for the season. But that's something that keeps.
They'll keep, yeah.
They'll keep in the
Right.
cooler as long as you
They'll
put them in
keep
the proper
for
bags.
10 months? 9 months?
Well, I
Right.
don't know about whether they'll keep that long or not, but we're thinking about the fall plant.
Oh,
could have a
just for
fall
half
planting.
and half?
We could maybe do 2 plantings,
fall
but we
planting
were
or
late.
spring.
We were late on that last
Yeah.
planting. I mean,
We were really late.
And
on
that's where they
everything
were
this spring.
smaller?
Yeah.
And part of it was the weather.
Yeah, that's right, it got
But-
cold.
but we
and
were late-
able to
we were
plant.
late.
Yeah, we
on
planted
everything.
right after it warmed up.
Yeah.
We were waiting for it to warm up.
Yeah, and it warmed up quickly, and you know the story. But we were a little late on most everything in the
Yeah.
spring.
Yeah, you need corn, all that kind of stuff. Do we want to try to attempt to do a fall planting of corn?
I would like to. It's got to be a quick maturing,
Yeah,
not the Silver Queen, because that's
Okay.
a slower maturing corn. And it's got to be I hate to use a little. If we can find a sweet corn that grows a little taller,
yeah,
because when it's so low like that luscious, the ears are right at so low to the ground. In the fall especially, as winter approaches, raccoons
oh, okay, yeah.
get worse.
That was phenomenal corn though. That
It
was
very good.
phenomenal.
It had the taste
Yeah,
of
the
it. was
taste of
delicious.
it, I think,
Delicious.
a lot better than the silver queen.
Definitely,
Yeah,
definitely.
it is, yeah.
I could ask the guy,
That
what
was phenomenal.
variety is a little more resistant,
Or
early
taller.
maturing, but tastes like luscious.
And
Taller.
Yeah,
something, a little
taller, yeah.
something. I don't know whether it was a seed or what, but it just didn't germinate like it should,
No, it didn't.
and I don't know why.
Yeah, it's just irregular germination.
Yeah.
Okay.
That
But,
was
uh,
phenomenal though.
Yeah, and the taste of it was delicious.
Absolutely.
Even as it's gotten, I took some of the kind of what I call hard ears, that were getting past their prime, home and cut them off the cob the other day, and put a little butter and
It's delicious.
saute it. Not saute it, but just cooked it. Man, it was good.
Yeah.
The sweet,
Uh huh.
yeah.
Yeah.
The bicolored corn too, so
Uh huh. And let's see.
So for 20 people, let's just go back to that a minute. How much corn would you plant? How in feet? Like this time it was 600 feet of corn.
Yeah, but we didn't even get 300 feet really of good
Yeah.
corn. And I think I think this fall we need to, and I realized after it started growing that the three crop thing was almost too much for the nutrients of the soil.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we need to keep corn by itself, and we want some beans, planted, but not necessarily.
Well, that
with the
field
corn.
also just didn't get the manure spread as
Yeah.
thickly as the other beds.
Yeah, we put some of the, the chicken, but
It
it's
didn't
still-
get
it
those
wasn't
layers
enough.
and
There's not
layers
that-
and
not
layers.
that much.
Yeah.
Well, you'll see the difference in how much production corn I have over here.
Right.
Big difference.
Right.
The big difference,
And the cantaloupe and the
And the size of the
Honeydew.
cantaloupe
Yeah,
and
well,
the
just-
honeydew and the watermelon, and of course
I'll just show you.
all the melons over there on the other side were kind of neglected.
Anything-
Really.
Tail.
or drowned. Were they drowned and neglected?
That's an issue.
I bet
well,
that's the two.
on things. What's your opinion on seeding in the field versus peat pots on some
Well,
plants?
some things I think, I think lettuce definitely in the
Mhm.
field.
Mm-hmm.
Yellow squash zucchini in the
Oh, yeah.
field.
Corn, beans,
Corn and beans.
squash. Cucumber,
The
melons.
nasturtium did really well on the field.
You think we had too many of them?
Too many nasturtiums? You think we had too many?
I don't know. If we didn't need the
We-
space, I guess it didn't matter. But
Well, we only planted if you, I did the
we
second
never
planting.
used
I
all
didn't
of
need-
them. That's for sure.
Yeah, no, we didn't, but they draw beneficial.
They should be in the front though, where they can be seen too.
Yeah, we could change where they were, but we only did like
A few
maybe a
feet.
15, 20 foot
It wasn't
section.
that much, but
But it went a long way.
I was going to say it doesn't take a lot.
No, it doesn't
Right,
take a
right.
lot, but
They make a good addition to the lettuce mix.
oh, absolutely,
I
it just-
I
Yeah.
like nasturtium. Just
I was
eat the
just
leaves and
wondering,
flower
They
raw.
really bought the honeybees too, so
Oh.
which probably
Huh.
helps everything.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
They should maybe
I
be
would
at the
say
end
we
of
did-
every
I
bed.
think we did that just about right. Now, I did a second planting on them, which I really didn't need
Oh, in the
that.
little
But
spaces.
and they didn't do
They-
much up there in the front for some
Yeah.
reason.
Mhm.
Those never, they were a little late
And,
coming in.
But what about cabbage and collards
Like,
and?
I collard definitely a lot less. I mean,
Yeah.
but I think collards on plastic. Do those in peat pots,
Mhm.
and
Peat-
maybe the should we do radish or cabbages? Could they take so long to mature?
I would
Plastic
do cabbage, broccoli, and collards.
because
on
they take so
plastic
long.
And in peat pots. Plant them in peat pots initially.
And then that way you can control to how many people to how many, okay, we want, okay,
You know.
say if we want 4 things of broccoli per member, or, you know, that's
Uh-huh.
just a hypothetical. but
And again, stage it out, where you plant, for example, if you want 4 heads of broccoli, or a head of broccoli a week for 20 people, that's, what, 60 plants,
60
80
plants.
plants.
80
Right,
plants, yeah.
can't even add, or multiply. 80, 4 heads times 20 is 80.
Eighty.
For
80 plants.
A month's worth at a time?
And plant 80 plants, or 100 plants, let's say, this month, and then 2 to 3 weeks later,
Yeah.
plant another,
Yeah,
so that you have a continuous
broccoli do once a
all
month.
winter, because broccoli does well during the cold weather.
Yeah.
And same way with cabbage,
And we
maybe, 4 heads of green cabbage and 2 heads of red
Mhm.
per member.
per
you know,
month.
per
yeah,
month.
Yeah.
Uh,
And that's probably almost too much. Most
Yeah,
people
that's
don't
probably-
do 2, 4.
Yeah.
I would say probably more like 2
and
and 1.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah, it's not a big hit, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
Unless there might be an occasional person that perhaps doesn't like it at all, and maybe
Right.
somebody likes it, well, they can
Right.
take their head.
Like you were eating cabbage once a week, or you would?
I would, yeah. Between slaw and I
You're
do
an
it a lot of
exception,
different
you know, you
ways.
would be somebody that would
Yeah.
do a little more. We
Yeah.
could do a couple extras, you know.
Yeah. If you, figure out maybe 2, it's just a matter of you all have a better feel for
Right.
what people eat and like than I do.
I would say lettuce mix, most people, if they're family, they would take a minimum of 2 bags a week.
Probably.
Yeah.
So for
Yeah.
a family, yeah.
For a
Yeah.
single, you probably only need one.
Yeah. In fact,
Um,
I get one and sometimes.
And then
some
there's
have
some
room.
that would probably take 4, but, so we probably have to figure a little
Yeah.
bit high, 2 on an average.
I would
maybe.
say, yeah, at
Could
least
that be a
Right.
questionnaire
I would do
that
2.
you ask people?
in one bowl.
Yeah.
What?
Could that be a questionnaire you ask people? 'Cause then
We
you really-
did ask that last
We
year.
did, it's
Specifics?
still very, very difficult to really break it down. I mean, I think we just kinda, we
But
have a
we
better
could
feel
again.
of what people took and what was more
Mhm.
popular.
We could compare
Strawberries, I think we could do
that
less of.
survey.
Less strawberries.
Yeah, less tomatoes.
Less tomatoes, less cherry tomatoes especially.
Yeah, stick with the bigger cherry tomatoes
And the
go-
regular
go-
size.
Regular
Right.
size, and I'm gonna go with a,
Those yellow
Homestead,
ones
which
were
is
good,
more
though.
a Typical round 8 ounce.
Uh.
I guess we still
I
wanna
like
do
those
some
yellow ones, the yellow
The yellow
cherries.
cherries, yeah.
Yeah, they
I
were
wanna do
good.
those.
And that
as
would
well.
add color to the salad.
Yeah,
And I think, plant a few, and I emphasize few, turnips and
Yeah.
turnip greens.
Like instead of
Yeah.
600 feet, how many feet?
Right. What now?
Instead of 600 feet, how many
Well,
feet?
first of all, I'd say out of 20, you might have 10 people that
Like
would
'em.
like them.
So half.
A bunch of turnips, you have, say, 4 in a bunch, you
Yeah.
have. 'cause
maybe
they-
what you do with turnips is you just,
Yes.
how many join, you just do that by how many feet you join.
Yeah,
Cause you can
Yeah.
get more than one in a,
in a foot.
and that way, if, say if you had 50 members, you do 50 feet worth.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
just
that, right.
something on
Or,
that
yeah, you take 18 inches for a family,
Yeah,
you know.
and that's probably multiple weeks right there,
Yeah,
in that,
right,
that little
right.
thing, so do it in that fashion. A
And
foot per person.
things like
turnips,
that.
Okay.
But
How about rutabagas instead of turnips?
I like rutabagas much better than turnips, but
Yeah.
I've never tried to grow any in this.
Can you eat the
I don't know
greens on
whether
the
you-
rutabaga? No.
Not
just the-
to my knowledge, not to my knowledge.
Where's
The
the
turnip
turnip?
greens produce both,
Yeah.
or if there's different varieties.
And what about kohlrabis? Are they like,
Kohlrabi is very popular with a lot of people, but.
I haven't had good luck growing it though. It doesn't do well here for some
It's
reason.
kind of like.
but
celery.
everything you
It's-
said you didn't have good luck with, we grew this year, right?
Yeah,
Even,
but I've done direct seeding with kohlrabi. And it just
Well, I don't know.
really-
There was a people like Ellen Maxon, I think, who wanted that. But and I think Jennifer maybe, or what did she say, rutabaga?
Mustard and turnip greens, you can sow in the road. Is
Yeah,
that what you
mustard
do?
greens, I would definitely
Do
say
what now?
much
Sow the
less.
mustard
Yeah,
and turnips in the road.
yeah, I do that
Yeah.
direct seed. You know.
Right.
But much
about
less
mustard?
mustard greens,
What
right?
about mustard greens? Did you have much,
Interest in it?
I would
Very
say, yeah.
little.
I
hard-
didn't think there was. I
And
wouldn't even bother
it
with it.
really attracts the bugs.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
definitely. I
even-
wouldn't bother
I
with it
wouldn't
either.
bother with mustard greens. Kale
That-
is very popular.
Yeah.
That's the other thing too, is, you know, we gotta look at some of these things really attract the bugs.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We want no sunflower, we
Definitely.
want no,
Mustard.
I think because the mustard really attract the bugs.
Yep.
You probably, you know, and you think it to catch a crop, but then again, when they get done with that crop, they're gonna go to
Right.
your other crops.
Right.
And
Except, in the children's garden where it was like more space, they weren't getting hit. So if you did want them, I would say plant them separated from each other
yeah,
somehow, if you did want a couple.
yeah,
Because the children's garden was fine, but that whole row in a row was just,
yeah, oh, I know. Well, they were fine for a period, and
Yeah.
then once they found them, that was all
Right,
over, you
right.
know.
But group plant like for cold crops, cabbage, broccoli, collards and things like that, group them kind of together to where you can spray them all at the same time. 'Cause
Yeah,
they
and
pretty
that,
much
they're
attract
gonna
the same
need the
type of
same
bugs.
nutritional and
Yeah.
spraying
Right.
needs, okay.
Right.
That's the kale,
Yeah.
collards. And kale and collards on plastic too, because they're long-term and you keep,
Mm-hmm. Right.
okay,
Right.
plastic.
And-
And broccoli, what else did you say?
Cabbage.
Cabbage, okay, grouped together. Okay, grouped together.
But I-
Plastic and-
any other groups?
Um,
And then probably eggplant, peppers, and all that. And the only reason why I'd like to group that kind of together is I want to, I think I want to devote one bed for cool or cold sensitive.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Very good
What I think I
idea.
want to
Tomatoes,
do,
pepper. Well, you don't need to be growing tomatoes with pepper and eggplant.
but what I want to do is, okay, just say we got 1/600, where the manure pile is now, I think that's where I want to put tomatoes. We're going to clear that out
Clear.
and
Okay.
we'll put that there.
Right.
Maybe I'll go ahead, we're going to clear that out probably in the next couple of weeks. Maybe that's where we put our chickens on there right now. Get some nitrogen on there.
Mhm.
Plus they'll put a lot of calcium on the ground because they're egg chickens. So.
Mhm.
But I want to get a row cover. And I want to,
Mhm.
something that's going to cover the whole bed.
Right.
Now, I think I'll go ahead and get my tomatoes in on this group too. Maybe do one full row of big tomatoes. Well, no, I'm sorry. This is 600. Just divide up the big tomatoes. And say we'll do maybe a half a row of cherry tomatoes or something like that. I'm just guessing. And that's probably going to be enough for you and me both. What I was thinking, now we have room here to put another cold thing. What I was thinking is putting a gap in here. And if we wanted to try to grow cucumbers through, and something we can cover,
Mhm.
Yeah.
cucumbers,
put a gap, and then go with tomatoes. It doesn't have to be cucumbers.
Right.
And then we could put peppers and eggplant.
Peppers, eggplant, cucumber, squash, they're all cold sensitive.
Yeah,
Right.
but I think people would like to have a continuation of cucumbers. Cucumbers get really expensive for me to grow.
Right.
I mean, to
to
buy
buy,
in
yeah.
the wintertime when
Yeah.
it gets cold.
Yeah.
We could do some yellow squash and zucchini. They just tend to really attract the worms.
They do.
Cucumbers aren't bad, but
Uh-uh.
the yellow squash zucchini, they just really.
We'll just plant them back out in the field with the regular
Yeah.
stuff because they're a
Do them
short-lived
early and
plant.
just be done with them.
They're a short-lived plant. Plant them in the fall and then again in
Yeah.
the spring, early spring,
Uh-huh.
and not worry about the cold weather, January and February.
Yeah, right. But then we can just cover this stuff,
Yeah.
and then make it I don't know, that's just my thought anyway.
No, that's a good idea, I think.
But I was just thinking if we just had a spacer between it. Well, peppers and eggplant okay next to each other, or should you?
Peppers and eggplant, I've heard different stories, and I've always grown them together.
Okay.
I've never had any. I've had good luck with both
Like
of
right
them.
now, well, they're one's at one
Yeah.
end and one's at next to it.
I've never had any problem. I've heard people say don't grow them
Yeah, they're
together.
growing right now next to each other.
Because they are
Yeah, I
both
know.
in the, I think pepper is, I know eggplant is in the nightshade family, I
Right.
think,
They're-
right.
Well, all these are
And
nice
tomatoes
shapes.
and, yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe we could plant, right between there, some beans
Yeah, there's some.
as a gap,
Like
Sure.
purple or what?
whatever.
Probably,
Yeah.
probably
soy-
get-
what
let's
about
get a
soybeans?
Typical green bean,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
provider bean or something like
Yeah.
that. Have you ever had experience with providers? They're nice green beans.
I'm not familiar with that one, right,
Okay,
but you,
okay, we could do
yeah.
beans or something,
But
you know.
put a gap in
Well,
there, you know.
You know, we don't need that much peppers and
No, no.
eggplant, you know,
Uh-uh.
pretty small
Right,
beans
And-
here.
yeah. And,
Okay.
because, that's something I don't think we had enough of this
Yeah.
year in the fall, with beans.
And then they could always dry out too if people didn't eat
Yeah.
them. We could
Right.
dry them and
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is Danielle. This is Robert Fisher.
Oh, nice to meet you. I think I met you the
Yeah,
other
we
day
met
when
the
we
other
were-
day, right,
when
good
we
to
were
see you
picking
again.
melons,
Right.
yeah.
Robert's the master shift leader, right?
Right.
Um,
Master planner here.
So we still don't know, I guess, how many beds, whatever those are called.
Well, it depends on how many
What are they
members.
called?
It's just that simple. When do you anticipate having,
A final count.
uh-huh,
Well, I put out, at this particular potluck for the existing members, that would be their time to sign back
Mhm.
up. But then you should probably put an article in the paper, right?
Yeah, probably put.
That's how
something
Robert
in.
came to this one,
yeah.
from that
So
article.
I didn't know anything about it at all, but I read the article in the paper, right. That
Yeah,
was, and
they're
I don't
always
remember
looking for
what time of
articles
year
to
it was.
write, you know.
It was in, I don't know, August or,
But I'm thinking.
well,
by
you
the-
were at both,
I'm thinking by the 1st of August, you need to have your membership
Right.
set, because that way you know how
Yes.
many tomatoes to see.
definitely.
And how many peppers and eggplants and
Yeah.
that type of thing.
Right, right.
Because,
Yeah.
that's the two things.
Last year we had it August 3rd, that was our,
What would you do with peppers and eggplant? How many peppers per person? Would you say,
Peppers, I'd say 2 plants per person,
okay, and
something like that.
probably eggplant one?
One.
per- One,
Yeah.
okay.
One, because eggplants, those Black Beauty that is out there, they get good size.
Yeah, there's only so many eggplants one can use.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Right.
And they'll keep producing, so you know it
Mhm.
can be more than
Yeah.
enough.
But
Do you have flyers up anywhere, or places that might attract people that are in the same frame of mind? Like at health food stores, yoga centers?
Do I have what out there?
Flyers out?
Flyers? I have not made any, no. No, haven't done anything, you know, just people, a lot of people find out about it through online, you know, there is something, you know, and I get.
oh, that would be another thing, I guess, to
Local
update the
harvest.
local harvest one.
Local Harvest,
To
that's where
update it.
that's where my emails are coming from, Local Harvest. So,
Is that updated?
the Local
To
Harvest.
say that, I think it was from last year, I mean, have you updated that? I don't know.
Might need to update it. Corn, you know, if you do a kind of a, how many years per person per planting would you say? Probably you're only gonna do one planting.
one planting's all you'll be able to get in
Yeah.
the fall, right?
A dozen years
I
per
think,
person.
I think I counted 10 years or something like that when I was planning on this originally, but based on the membership, but, yeah, dozen years.
Does 12 years per
Uh-huh.
person, you know, so basically.
Is that 12 plants?
12 running feet,
Uh-huh.
basically 12
Right.
running feet per person.
Right. Right. And again, you've got to group that.
Yeah. And strawberries, we had 1,500 plants, and we probably had, I'm gonna say about 1,200 plants that survived,
Mhm.
because we lost a few.
I'd say no more than 1,000.
Yeah.
What were you thought? What's your thought?
That's even probably
Probably about right.
way too much.
It depends on how many members we've got.
Yeah, but I mean, with this
Yeah.
year's, we had way too many strawberries.
But I have never seen
Except they
strawberries
should have been
produce
getting
this long.
frozen.
Yeah, they were a long producer.
Uh-huh.
I know, we should have been freezing them
Uh-huh.
maybe. Cause I buy
Well,
frozen
just-
strawberries.
Again, you know, people get tired of it. We had a real bug infestation with them. And I haven't found a good control for that beetle, or it's actually a stink bug, the juvenile stink bug that we had chewing on them.
Well, just last Sunday, I was getting a bunch that weren't damaged at all. That looked great. Like,
Really?
yeah,
What day was it we picked those melons?
probably.
I think it was last Thursday, a week
It was
ago.
Thursday, a week ago?
A week ago.
Yeah. I got some nice ones too.
Yeah.
Strawberries?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they had like a clean batch come out that
Yeah.
weren't damaged or anything.
Yeah.
They're
Well,
great.
it could be, bugs do have their cycles too,
Yeah.
you know, they go through it.
But that hasn't been sprayed in probably a month now, right? Did Bill stop
yeah, we
spraying?
haven't sprayed them at all.
Because if Lolly's still spraying her eggplant, she is getting good results, unless
Yeah.
they're just not over there.
But Bill didn't even get good result, you know,
Oh,
I mean,
when
2
he
days
did?
later and, then, you know, well, right afterwards, I mean, we just need something that's a little stronger.
That was way too much, though.
Yeah.
Like at least half of that for what we had this year.
I think having them across the street, people will be more
Yeah, that's
inclined to
true.
do
If they were able to pick
you know,
them.
for out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah,
Everything needs to be on the same side of the road.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now, my question is, you know how we've used the beds that we have the garden in now. What we want to do is where the manure pile is now, and inside the fence.
Mhm.
Because the animals are going to be, we're going to fence right next to the ditch. That's all going to be fenced, and that's going to be available for garden space right there. And that's an extra wide bed. We probably won't plant all the way, we'll leave a little area just for driving, but you know, there's still plenty here for a full bed right there.
Well, like even saying how many there were this year and how much space was used, what would you say, half of that on that side of the road, or?
Well, we started, if
What's
you
it
remember, we only started with 2 beds.
Uh-huh.
And that was manageable.
Right.
But
But it just
then
kept-
we expanded.
And part of that was a result of not laying out the beds beforehand. We just kind of planted where there was a spot available, and if there
Right.
wasn't a spot, we started a new bed.
Yeah, right, exactly what
No.
we did, you know.
So I think we,
The only problem, you know, with, and we're seeing results of this, you know, where we needed, CSA needed some spot for melons, and we didn't choose a new bed.
Uh-huh.
Melons didn't do that very well.
no. Well,
And my melons did a lot better
Right.
over here. And
there were a
everybody-
lot of reasons the melons over there didn't do well. Number one, they were neglected.